Small bonsai can also make a big scenery. Playing bonsai requires the understanding of the four rings. Quit being crazy. Idiots are sick. Bonsai is just an embellishment of life. It beautifies life and cultivates sentiment. If you are too obsessed, instead of dragging, the second precept is to be greedy for appropriate space to produce beauty. Space constraints need to be taken into account. If you are too greedy, stuff the branches full. It is estimated that others may feel that they are hiding. 3 borrowing starting points are low. Bonsai can reflect people's thoughts. If the house is full of piles, I am still a kanyao. How to play. So the starting point is very important. To be completed properly. Shaped, semi-formed piles. Not too many. 4 rings. Most people who play bonsai may have limited space. Large piles occupy a large area. The cost should consider the size and matching. The price of small and micro is also relatively low, although the piles are small. But most kung fu make more comparisons. Study more, have more time to move around. Communicate more with people who engage in bonsai. Stump in nature. After reducing the shape, transplant into a flower pot. This is bonsai. Trees in nature have well-developed root systems. It's very adaptable. Generally, there is no such thing as flood death and drought death, but transplanted into a flower pot, limited by the size of the flower pot. Too much or less watery, drought and flood prone. The main reason is that there are only a few seepage holes at the bottom of the flower pot. What is the water content of the basin soil directly affects the respiratory capacity of the root system. Therefore, watering bonsai is very important. A tree stump. Don't fertilize it. Slow at most. Poor moisture control. Either die of drought or rot. So, the author summarizes a little experience in watering bonsai. Share with friends. Generally speaking, water the stump bonsai. To master the following 5, take a look at the flower pot. Looking at the flower pot includes 2 meanings. 1 is the texture of the flower pot. Ning Yao, pottery basin, purple sand basin, vegetarian pot. Use less porcelain basin, glaze basin, mud basin. More pottery pots. Less pouring porcelain basin. Strong air tightness. Water carefully. The author used to. The specific reasons are introduced in the flower pot type. It will not be repeated here. The second is to see the size and depth. Small and medium-sized stump bonsai mostly use shallow pots. Large old piles are multi-used for deep basin maintenance. The large basin and the deep basin should not be dry or watered. If watered, it will be watered through. Small basin, shallow basin, a small amount and more pouring. Second look at basin soil. Basin soil is the focus of the stump bonsai, with fertile, loose, breathable, well-drained basin soil, basically not rotten. Some pot friends use vegetable garden soil as pot soil. The stump is still rotten. This is because, although vegetable garden soil has sandy characteristics, but the particles are delicate, strong water retention, good ventilation and fast evaporation when growing vegetables in the open air. The crops planted are growing well, but it is not suitable for use as basin soil. The main reason is the lack of indoor ventilation, small evaporation. Watch the surface of the basin soil dry. It's actually quite humid down there. Use vegetable garden soil. It is best to add river sand, red jade, soil, ceramsite, and cinder, so the clay should be watered less. Loose sand should be poured frequently. You can't take it for granted that you water it once a few days. Water the stump like that, and the roots will soon rot. 3. Look at tree species. In terms of tree species with large leaves have developed root systems. It grows fast, large evaporation. Common tree species include poplar, fatong, and sakura. Tree species with small leaves grow slowly. Small evaporation, such as ginkgo biloba, golden marbles, boxwood black pine, 5-needle pine, plum jujube. Therefore, broadleaf trees with strong evaporation capacity are watered more. Conifer with small transpiration and less watering. More watering with better growth. Weak growth, less watering. Large pots of trees, and small watering frequently. Small trees, big pots, lazy watering. The above watering rules should be compared under the same conditions. For example, they all water at a certain time. For look at light and ventilation, and it's very simple. Get more sunlight and pour more. Less pouring with less shade and less light. It is well ventilated and evaporates quickly, so you need to pour more. Less watering for indoor breeding with poor ventilation. In June, when the weather is dry and hot, pour more. Full taboo, less pouring when the humidity is high, so watering depends on the time. It also depends on lighting and ventilation. Look at the temperature. Generally speaking, temperatures are determined by the season. Temperatures are optimum during the growing season. You can water it with confidence and boldness. For example, in spring and autumn, the temperature difference is small and the humidity is high. Unwashed stump. Dry and watered. Wet sea, dry sea, wet. It is best to water in the morning. Avoid evening watering. The high temperature evaporates quickly in summer. You can pour it sooner or later. Avoid the hottest time at noon, even if the temperature in winter can grow. Ventilation is not good. They had to follow the pattern of dry rooting, wet growing leaves. Try to keep it dry and water it less. It is best to water at noon. The water temperature should be consistent with room temperature. Conclusion: stump bonsai watering in addition to the above 5 looks. Also, pay attention to water quality requirements, especially friends from the north. Do not use well water containing salt and alkali. And those so-called rain shoots cost oil and water. Orange peel water. The author has been using pond-flowing river water, stored rainwater. The specific method is to spray the leaves first. Water again until the bottom of the basin penetrates. Finally, it is recommended that pot friends do not use the soaking basin method. If you do that, words and things in the basin soil can never be discharged. Prone to transalkali. Causes the surface of the pot soil to form a hard shell of white flowers. Fucking accidentally became a boss. From morning till night. And not just all year round. Wind and rain come. Others are hundreds of thousands at every turn. I can't eat at every turn. It is said that growing flowers can nourish one's self-cultivation. You can cultivate sentiments. I didn't expect me to lose control. I'm crazy about buying pots, buying soil, and buying fertilizer. As soon as I see a beautiful flower, I will go up. Buy pot after pot. Keep buying if you die. Gradually lost his soul. Entering summer. Bonsai maintenance management has entered. A crucial stage due to the high summer temperatures. Exceeding the normal physiological temperature required by plants causes a large amount of water evaporation in the pile body. Absorption is less than consumption. Growth mechanism of damaged leaf roots. Bonsai is different from potted plants. The proportion of pot sowing and tree stump matches appropriately to highlight the theme of the beauty of tree stumps. Root mostly bare chart. Therefore, the pot is smaller than that of ordinary potted plants. In addition, the basin soil is limited, but the branches and leaves are lush. This allows the original to grow normally. The coefficient of absorption of water and nutrients decreases. Therefore, the summer maintenance of bonsai is very important. 4 points for watering bonsai in summer. The weather is hot in summer. The demand for water from bonsai has also reached a peak. But how to water the bonsai? Many new gardeners don't have a good idea. Watering is important, but more importantly, learn how to water. Generally speaking, pay attention to 4 points for watering in summer. Master the basin soil and water temperature. Focusing on water quality. Follow the weather and vary according to the bonsai. First, master the basin soil and water temperature. General watering. Basin soil temperature and water temperature should be kept the same or similar. If the basin soil temperature is too different from the water temperature, can't pour. Summer watering. To master the water temperature. Water when it is the same or similar to the soil temperature and temperature. Second, pay attention to the quality of watering. Water the stump bonsai. Take rain, water, river water, pond water as well. Special south. Acidic tree stumps are best watered with rain. You can also water it with river water and pond water. But in the north, due to the alkaline soil, because river water, pond water also contains more saline and alkali components, water the flowers with this water. Adverse to the growth of acid-loving flowers and trees. If there is no rain pouring the pile at this time, you can dilute the piles with decomposed rice washing water and then pour them. In addition, the wastewater replaced by the tap water goldfish tank can also be poured. Neutral and alkaline stumps. If you use tap water, it will take a few days to dry. Let the chlorine in the water escape. To pour laundry, water containing soap, saline alkali water. Chemically polluted water must never be used to water the village. The first person to love home. Those who love bonsai are particularly homesick, tough, and laborious. I want to keep the bonsai well. It is to improve the appearance of the environment at home. The second person has perseverance. Anxious people can't raise bonsai. Someone who can raise bonsai well must be a man of perseverance, because each pot of bonsai is not easy to form. So why do people often say that the work is in 10 years? And thirdly, nature lovers. Raise bonsai at home. Raise some flowers and plants or something. I just want to protect these green natural life. Smell the green. Touch the lingering warmth of nature. Fourth, people who love art. Because people who like bonsai, they all know how to pursue the beauty of art in ordinary life. Fifth, people who know how to release stress by themselves. Just seeing these vibrant tree stumps in my house, they are all transformed by their own hard work. Any flower will die. Basically, there are 5 types of people. The first category is too much. It's okay to water. Sunny or cloudy. I don't know what flowers I grow. If there are tea leaves, pour water into it. Beer and milk are also poured directly into it. That flower is either a worm or a rotten root. If not, the water will flood to death. The second one is monkey urgent. I always feel that my flowers and plants are growing slowly. My flowers are 3 hours old, not long at all. Then nitrogen fertilizer, phosphorus, potash, sheep manure, this and that. Pour it all in like a 2-year-old. You had to give him 5 kilos of calcium. It's weird not to die. The third is the restless type. I'll put it on Nanyang Terrace today. Bask in the sun. The sun will shine tomorrow. I put it in the living room. I'm going to ventilate the day after tomorrow. I'll put it outside. It won't take a few days. You only have 1 basin left. The fourth is the seriously ill type. Pull that flower root out in 3 days. See what that one looks like. As if you could read it. That potted plant won't let you toss to death. It pissed you off. The fifth is lazy like a pig. I think all flowers are as easy to feed as dill. What? Watering, fertilize, bask in the sun. Dry long root, wet long leaf. Watering too often. Die faster. In the maintenance of landscaping, many people are afraid that the seedlings will lack water. It's watered every day. As a result, the leaves are still drooping and wilting, still short of water, because the water is not absorbed at all. Dry long root, wet long leaf. Roots are like water. As long as the soil is short of water, we'll desperately take root to find water. So the soil hurts a little bit. Best for growing roots. Too much watering. I don't want to work hard anymore. Still that long. It only absorbs so much water. So the longer the leaves get, bonsai piles at this point. Many friends do not pay attention to maintenance and management. I think it's enough to feed and water. I talk to you about maintenance every day, but I still see many friends bonsai every day. Soil compaction, branch aging, blade matte. No need for prophylaxis. It's hard to grow to the thickness of chopsticks in a year. Let's talk about bonsai maintenance. Yangrove branches. Roots must be taken first. It's time to take root. Branches can thrive. The bud of the lifetime pile has sprouted to more than 30 cm. Fertilize for the first time. Irrigate the roots with trace element fertilizer or conditionally available egg liquid fertilizer. The first dose is lower, twice a month. To all branches issued that year cannot be cut off, because more branches can promote more rooting. The longer the branches, the better. More and more roots. 3. After the second fertilization, you can spray foliar fertilizer, potassium dihydrogen phosphate sprayed once a month, make it more resistant to disease, and improve the absorption of nutrients in the body, for such as normal insect and disease prevention. From May to September, apply 70% to 90% of the shade mesh for summer. In the spring of the second year, you can put the farmhouse fertilizer, like dried vegetables. Thin fertilizer application, also strengthen pest control in winter. Stone sulfur mixture diluted 1000 times, spring. 6 to the following spring. You can cut off the excess branches. Useful. The more branches absorb nutrients, the longer and faster. These branches cannot be cut. Make it as long as possible. The branches are thick. You must let it grow to 1.5 meters to more than 2 meters. Such branches are thick enough. Many friends keep a pile head, but I don't know how to keep branches and shapes, or let it grow, or the whole ass bend. Disorganized. There was no transition, no theme or distinct personality. Ugly. It was a waste of time. You know, the biggest cost of bonsai is the annual labor. Few 10 years in my life. Today, teach you how to identify and grow one of the stump bonsai, secondary and tertiary modeling branches. Sincerely hope to help your bonsai piles shine early. Take fewer detours. After the main pile weight is alive, they'll sprout lots of buds. After the bud point grows into branches and reaches a certain length, leave 2 or 3 branches that are conducive to shaping. Cultivation becomes a first-class branch. The growth and development of the first branch is 2/3 of the proportion to the trunk. Size hour, to do the first truncation, according to the proportion of tree species and size. Generally shorten the branches to 5 to 8 centimeters. Then the second branch will be raised later. The second branch needs to reach 2/3 of the main branch of the first. When the size of the second branch is slightly shorter and smaller than the first branch, form a size transition. Then continue to stock the third level branches. After the third level branches shrink again, the preliminary outline of the bonsai is completed. It's the so-called 3 forks and 9 branches. I once bought it and became a poor dog. Now I think it's ugly. The pot soil you can't buy should be fat. No money except the sun. Everything else costs a fortune. Bonsai piles at this point. Many friends do not pay attention to maintenance and management. I think it's enough to feed and water. I talk to you about maintenance every day, but I still see many friends bonsai every day. Soil compaction, branch aging, blade mat, no need for prophylaxis. It's hard to grow to the thickness of chopsticks in a year. Let's talk about bonsai maintenance. To raise thick branches, you must first raise roots. Branches can thrive when they take root. The bud of the lifetime pile has sprouted to more than 30 cm. Fertilize for the first time. Irrigate the roots with trace element fertilizer or conditionally available single leaf fertilizer. The first dose is lower, twice a month. To all branches issued that year cannot be cut off, because more branches can promote more rooting. The longer the branches, the better. More and more roots. 3. After the second fertilization, you can spray foliar fertilizer, potassium, dihydrogen, phosphate, sprayed once a month. Make it more resistant to disease, and improve the absorption of nutrients in the body, for such as normal insect and disease prevention. From May to September, apply 70% to 90% of the shade mesh for summer. In the spring of the second year, you can put the farmhouse fertilizer, like dried vegetables, thin fertilizer application. Also strengthen pest control in winter. Stone sulfur mixture, diluted 1,000 times, spraying. 6 to the following spring. You can cut off the excess branches. The more useful branches remain, the faster they absorb nutrients. These branches can't be cut. Make it as long as possible. The branches are thick. You must let it grow to 1.5 meters to more than 2 meters. Such branches are thick enough. 4 points for winter maintenance of bonsai. Pruning. Before the official start of winter, we're going to talk about bonsai plants. Perform a thorough trimming job. We need to prune off the soil twigs that are growing on the plant, overlapping cross branches, useless branches such as cluttered branches. Save nutrients stored in the next plant to support the plants through the winter. The consumption required to temperature. Bonsai plants generally have a certain degree of cold tolerance, cold resistance. But in the winter, when the temperature drops too low, you could still get frostbite. Therefore, we should move the bonsai into a warmer room. Keep the temperature between 10 and 20 degrees Celsius. The minimum cannot be lower than 5 degrees Celsius to ensure the survival and health of the plants. 3 light bonsai plants in winter. It goes into a semi-dormant state. They grow slower, but in daily maintenance, we need to give them plenty of light to ensure that it can still carry out the corresponding photosynthesis. If you leave the plant in a dark place for a long time, plants may decay and wither. For watering bonsai plants when watering in winter, we need to reduce the amount of water we usually water, based on keeping the soil slightly dry. When watering, the temperature of the water used should also be close to the soil temperature to prevent the occurrence of freezing damage. The beauty of bonsai depends entirely on floating branches. Flutter. There is a god. God generates rhyme. The large floating branch is named after its shape, the movement and charm it brings. They tend to be more attractive to the viewer. Just the right use of large floating branches.